Hello mga kamaniwise! Welcome back to my channel. In this video, pag-usapan natin ang ASEN Corporation, the energy arm of the Ayala Group and a key player driving the clean energy transition in the Philippines and across Asia Pacific. Reminder lang, this is not a recommendation to buy this stock. This is for informational purposes only. So do your own due diligence before investing. ASEN develops and operates a diversified portfolio of solar, wind, and geothermal energy across the region. They also enable businesses to transition to renewable energy through their retail electricity supply arm. Ang target nila is to reach 20 gigawatts of renewable capacity by 2030. Currently, ASEN has a market cap of 122.25 billion pesos. Hindi lang sila nakafocus sa Philippines. May malalaki rin silang projects sa Australia, Vietnam, India, Indonesia, and other markets, which gives them geographic diversification. Currently, ASEN has 7 gigawatts of attributable renewable capacity. These are projects that are running, under construction, or with signed agreements. At ito naman ang breakdown by country. Philippines ang home market with 2.46 gigawatts, India 1.69 gigawatts, Australia 1.24 gigawatts, Vietnam and Laos PDR 1.21 gigawatts, Indonesia 107 megawatts, United States, Malaysia, and smaller projects in other markets. Most of ASEN's revenue comes from the Philippine market, 92.2% local and 6.5% international. If we look at the share price history ng ASEN, ang laki ng binagsak ng share price niya. From a peak of 12.92 noong 2021, nag-downtrend ang share price and nag-bottom out at around 2.15 pesos per share. Share price declined by 83%. Kaya swerte ang mga bumili sa pinakamababang price kasi malaki ang upside potential ng ASEN. And now, nag-start na mag-recover ang share price. It's now trading at 3.03 pesos per share as of the making of this video. Now, let's check the company's fundamentals para malaman natin bakit nag-downtrend ang share price ng ASEN. Before I continue, quick shoutout muna sa mga bagong YouTube channel members kay Eric, Jennifer, Jonathan, Ben Suerte, HL Santos, TTD Arlene TV, and DNX Okamoto. Maraming salamat for joining as channel members and supporting my YouTube channel. I really appreciate your support. Okay, so let's continue. If we look at the revenue and earnings history, ASEN's revenue has more than doubled since 2017, driven by new renewable plants coming online and selling power under long-term contracts. However, volatile ang net earnings niya due to higher expenses because ASEN is in a heavy capex build and expansion phase. Negative ang free cash flow ng ASEN since 2020. Negative 14.84 billion pesos ang free cash flow niya as of September 30, 2025. Para sa mga investors, negative free cash flow signals higher financial risk, kaya weak ang sentiment. Consistently positive naman ang operating cash flow ng ASEN, which shows that it's consistently generating cash from its core business operations. Pero ang capital expenditures niya ay significantly higher than its operating cash flow, kaya negative ang free cash flow niya. ASEN's business is highly capital intensive. Mababa ang ROE ng ASEN sa ngayon, nasa 2.1%, which is below the industry's average of 9.4%. ROE or return on equity measures how efficiently the company uses shareholders' equity to generate profits. Since ASEN is in a heavy growth phase as a renewable energy developer, malaki ang expenses niya bago mag-fully contribute sa earnings ang mga bagong projects. Ang forecast is 6.1% ROE in 3 years' time, which is still lower versus industry's average. But this is expected to improve longer term as ASEN's portfolio generates more recurring profits. Long-term debt-to-equity ratio is 94.07% and meron siyang cash na 19.64 billion pesos. Below 100% pa naman ang debt-to-equity ratio niya Pero ang interest coverage ratio niya ay negative 0.6 times, which means hindi sapat ang earnings ng ASEN para mabayaran ang interest expenses niya sa utang niya. So, magre-rely siya sa cash reserves, new financing, or other sources para makabayad ng interest payments. For the first 9 months of 2025, bumaba ang revenue and earnings ng ASEN year-on-year. Ang net earnings ay down 78% sa first 9 months ng 2025. Weak ang investor sentiment due to softer earning results. Noong second quarter ng 2025, nagkaroon din ng one-time non-cash impairment of 2.7 billion pesos ang ASEN related to its Lac Hoa and Hoa Dong wind farms in Vietnam, which have a combined capacity of 48 megawatts. Nagkaroon ng construction delays due to COVID-19 related restrictions in earlier years and has been operating under a provisional tariff since its commercial operations noong first quarter ng 2024. And noong June 2025, nagkaroon ng agreement with EVN or Electricity of Vietnam on a final permanent power tariff. However, mas mababa ito kaysa sa original investment assumptions ng project. Kaya nagkaroon ng impairments. Net income looks weaker because accounting-wise, kailangang i-recognize yung impairment loss. However, core attributable earnings, which excludes all non-recurring items, remain flat year-over-year. Future growth potential ng ASEN. Ang forecast ng mga analyst ng Simply Wall Street ay earnings will grow by 67.9% and revenue will grow by 15.2% per annum. Very good yan sa ASEN pag nagkatotoo ang forecast ng mga analyst. Outlook for 2026. After a slow 2025, ASEN expects significant income growth in 2026 and 2027 as major projects in its 7-gigawatt pipeline begins operations. The company expects earnings momentum to accelerate from 2026 onward as new projects are set to come online, boosting generation output and revenues. Pero syempre, meron pa ring risk like execution delays which could affect profitability ng ASEN. If we take a closer look at the chart, we can clearly see na nakaka-recover na ang share price ng ASEN. ASEN is now trading at 3.03 pesos per share as of the making of this video. Pero malayo pa siya sa price niya noong 2021 at hindi natin alam kung kailan siya makakabalik sa price na yan. Meron ding dividend ang ASEN pero mababa nga lang. Ang dividend yield niya is 1.6%. ASEN is not a dividend stock. It's a growth stock. Kung bibili ka ng ASEN for capital appreciation siya, bonus ang maliit na dividend. Ang fair value ng Call Financial sa ASEN is 4.29 pesos. Pwede ka maglagay ng margin of safety na 20 to 30% for your buy below price. It's up to you kung gaano ka ka-conservative. Looking ahead, may positive signs of recovery. More new projects are coming online which should boost electricity output and revenues ng ASEN. Meron din siyang 80 billion pesos in planned CapEx to continue accelerating growth. ASEN is definitely a stock worth watching. Signs point to a potential recovery and stronger performance ahead. For patient investors, ASEN offers exciting long-term potential. But as always, do your own due diligence before investing.